Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another. Um, this is the last day for this month, actually. This is the last day for this month, and I'm not really looking forward to trade today because, it's the last day of the month, and, it's a Monday, you got the pound holiday, so not many things, I don't think is going to happen today. Let's take a look over here.
You see these simple lines on the
Simple lines with simple crimes. All right, let's take a look over here. So, pound holiday, we got CAD news, yeah, Monday's going to be okay. I'm not really expecting much volatility from Monday. I mean, you know, basically, I would treat this day as Friday. I would treat this day as Friday because this is the last trading day for the month. So I'm not looking to take any trades today. I'm just gonna, sit back, relax, and maybe provide some support for people who are in drawdowns right now. Because looking at 4 hour basically filled the wick at 141, 140. That wick has been filled over there. Looking at the 1 hour, we did break above this area, which we were looking at yesterday when we did the analysis. So basically, the 1 hour candles are just creating some sort of a range here now. We reached into a resistance, and yeah, this basically they're in another range right now. It's a 40 pip range. It's a pretty big range, But if you look at the candles, we go down to the 30-minute time frame. You look at the candles. This is where price was creating support all throughout London. Look at this, from 1 a.m. till 5 a.m. we created support, and then price broke up and went towards the resistance, and that's about it. So now we're in this range, and this range is around 32 pip big. And man, let me tell you, this range is not good. This is not a good range. Not a good range at all because you got consolidation, price break up, come down. I mean, if price forms a support at this point, if you see some sort of support, then there's um, some probability that price may continue moving up. But that's like if that happens. So also it's the last day of the month again. It's the last day of the month, you gotta relax. How much lots should I use for a $440 account? I think 0.04. Yeah, 0.04. It's going to be pretty good. Hey, are you going to go back to your regular lot size after taking a break this month? Did it help a lot with psychology to reduce risk? Yeah, it did. Um, this month, I went down like a lower lot sizes because I had like a lot of things happening in my real life. So I had to basically like tone them down and kind of like focus on those things. So after I'm back from London, probably gonna do the regular lot sizes. So I think I'm gonna be back in trading maybe Monday. Yeah, probably Monday. Hey, did you see that yesterday live stream? That lady was, oh, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I didn't see the live stream yesterday. Yeah, man, I was busy. I was busy. I had a barbecue, and man, I was busy yesterday, so I don't know what was going on. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is the right time to use impulse entry or not. Okay. So you took an impulse entry, price broke above this resistance, came down, took an impulse entry when the 15-minute kind of broke. Yeah, I think this is the good place to take impulse entries because you got clean candles here to the left till resistance, right? Taking an impulse entry above this area once price starts ranging is going to be difficult, because that's kind of like the resistance right over there. take a look at this. Let's take a look at your JPY over here. Oh wow, your JPY is heading bullish. Daily candle is heading bullish. We have rejected the support. We're continuing on. I think this is going to be a good target for your JPY, 126,740. 126,740, but obviously, now it's heading bullish. It has to retrace, create some sort of like a, so basically we broke above this resistance right over here. We came up to another resistance at like, 126, 150. We broke above there. So now basically you want price to create some sort of a support, because price will never end up going just one direction. It will always come down, it will always create support, and it will always continue moving up. Is someone's FTMO not working today? Well, they're using demo servers, so what do you expect? That's what happens. Thought you wouldn't get on today because bank holiday, but glad you're on. Yeah, man, I'm bored. I have basically nothing to do. I'm up at like 6 a.m., 5:45 a.m. every morning. So better come on over here and have some fun. Hey, your thoughts on my loss and how could I have improved? Thank you. Trade was on London Open. Okay, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is, Ian came to some consolidation. We're in key level support. Overall here, price making high lows. Okay, so basically you had a 30-minute chart over here and your entry was right over here, expecting price to continue moving up. You know what? I would look at this as the same way. I would look at this, okay, we were consolidating, we broke out, we had this little bit of a almost like a fake out to continue moving up. You took a buy, stops right here, it didn't work out. At this point you could say, okay, what, this was just the odds of the price not working out, because when everything was in your favor, price action wise, candle wise, maybe it was just a probability of things not working out at this point. So I guess what you got to do is maybe go down to the 15-minute time frame and see if you could really lower down your risk. If you could go to the 15-minute and see where could you have taken out, maybe a percentage of a position and somewhat like that. Yeah. When things go against you just because it was the odds of it not working out, then at that point you got to see that, okay, if you could have really managed your risk, maybe looked at a 15-minute candle closing bearish and things of that sort. Hey, hope you're doing good. My question to you, do you trade in these sessions as well? Yes. Well, if I'm here, then I trade in these sessions. But today I'm probably not going to take a trade. Probably I'm going to just relax today. Did you watch IG Live with Uncle Ted and that women? No, I didn't. Alright, let's take a look over here. Let's take a look at this chart. Your JPY entry was over here when we broke the high over here. Okay, beautiful. Very nice. Yeah, just by looking at your JPY now, it just seems like it needs to create some sort of support for it to continue moving up. Let's take a look at pre-markets. Pre-markets are positive at 25 points. Nothing big, nothing really that could say, okay, this is going to be a big mover for US 30. But let's take a look over here. This is actually moving down. US 30 is moving down. Looks like the daily candle is rejecting 28,800. and it's coming down to create a lower wick. Looking at the 4 hour here, 4 hour is approaching some support, which makes sense for it to continue moving down actually. Yeah, it could potentially break this minor support here, 28,650, and then continue on towards 28,570. And this is going to be a, oh wow, okay, almost like a 100-point move. So, you know, we'll see if that happens or not. I'm going to keep an eye on that. What's this? Bro, I saw your comment several times. How can you say you didn't watch that live? No, that was Raja Banks. That was Raja. I'm Rakeel. I was busy doing some stuff, man. We're having a 3-day boot camp in London, so I was busy with that. I was busy with that, making slides and making tests and stuff. So it was Raja, man. Let Raja do his thing. Can you post a Zoom link in Ted's chat? All right, let's take a look over here. Let's see what we got. They're two different people, man. I'm telling you. Let me. Will you be doing a live stream during boot camp in London? Nope. Yes, there will be no live streams. No live streams on Thursday and Friday. This Thursday and Friday. No live streams. No live streams for NFP. Hey, would you please tell me what could I have done better in this trade? Let's take a look here. Let's take a look over here. Took an entry as soon as the third candle started forming with stops 10 pip. Yeah, I think at this stage you should have let the candle close, right? I mean, that would have been a better opportunity for you to take a trade if you would have let the candle close bearish, and then you would have been pretty safe. But you didn't let the candle close bearish, and basically you paid the price, right? Are you trading today? It's Pound's holiday. No, probably not. Probably just gonna take it easy. Why there's no trade on Friday? Because I'm gonna be busy. Can you put, like, listen, guys, you can take a trade. If the live streams are not gonna be here, it's not like you don't have to take a trade. You can take a trade. Man, some people think they can't take a trade when live streams are not on. Hey, can you please advise on this analysis? Let's take a look at this analysis over here. This is some bad, and okay, price rejection candles make higher highs. Yeah, I think you need to wait for candles to probably break above this area and then take a buy. Yeah, I think you'll need to do that. You'll need to wait for candles to break above that area. But then again, what chart is this? This is like some next level chart over here. Yeah, this chart is in the past. Sorry, can't look at that. Ooh, Uncle Ted has his hand up. Hey, I think you can unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah, I can. Morning.
There we go, there we go.
Looking at gold. Right now, we're in an interesting spot. There's a big range that we're in from, I guess, 1953, 55, all the way up to like 1982. Since it's the end of the month, I'm watching the monthly candle. We're going to have a pretty interesting situation with gold. If the monthly candle finishes indecision, this could start the potential descent down for the rest of the time up until the elections. If not, use this candle as you'll see a rejection and then potentially a continuation of this. Normally what happens and what I've noticed is if you go on, like a lot of times this candle here, obviously indecision, you get on the smaller time frames, or this is a good example here. We had indecision there. The next candles continue with the overall trend. So you might find today is going to be a little choppy, but then towards the rest of the end of the week, you're going to have that continuous move up. And if NFP is not great with the US dollar, gold will continue to move on Friday as well, up a bit more. But like I said, it seems like the US elections in November are going to be very, very controversial. And that's going to really send push and also like volatility through gold and also US 30. To be honest, I see US 30 crashing at the election. So what you may find right now, if you're trading US 30, you might get, as it pulls back, you may look to buy the dip a bit. So when you have a support created with US 30, you can ride it probably all the way back up to like 29,000. And as it reaches higher, I think after the elections, we're going to see that drop with US 30. And then you'll have that pullback in terms of the overall movement with US 30. But for now, I think we're going to probably hit 29,000 again over the next couple of weeks, if not sooner. And then as we get closer to the election, and once the election comes on, I think the instability, whether Trump gets elected again or Biden gets put into office, is going to create a lot of instability because I don't think either one of them have a clear plan for the US economy. And that will then shift US 30 in the equity market, and that will be the drop we're looking for. So a lot of people have been saying, the Fed has been printing money, propping up the equity market, which is, obviously US 30 is an indice of the equity market. That I think will be the catalyst to see US 30 really take a nosedive, because at that point, I don't think we can print any more money. There can't be any more financial stimulus. And if there isn't a clear path that the new president or the re-elected president sets out or sets the tone, I think that's going to shake investors, and that'll really drop the US 30. And in historical events too, in election years, we've also had a lot of volatility, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, man, these elections are going to be really crazy. I think way crazier than the last elections we had.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I was looking at gold here in the weekly while you were talking about US 30, and it just seems like gold weekly wants to just continue pushing bullish.
Right. It's just going to be hard today because it's the end of the month, so you don't really have a strong candle. But if the daily candle does flip bullish, I think you have that opportunity as well. I don't like the way the candles are sitting right now with gold. I don't think there's enough information for us to really do anything with it. I mean, obviously, if you took buys earlier this morning or over the Asian session, I think you have a good opportunity there to ride it up a bit more. But at this point, there's not enough information right now for me to actually take a position in gold and say, hey, this is where I want to go. I tried to take a couple of buys earlier and they were very small. But I think as the week progresses, you're right, Raja, we should have continuous movement up at that point.
GJ will fall to 140, 150. Well. I think we need to see some sort of a chart analysis for that, so that we can also see how it's going to fall to 140, 150. That's a pretty big number. That's breaking the support which price created in London session at 14800, and then coming down and breaking below 14600, 14500, breaking below this area over here and coming all the way down towards the start of the run on Friday. So there's going to be a lot of levels price needs to break for it to come down towards 140, 100. What's this? Would sells be risky to take when 15-minute breaks the previous 15-minute? Let's take a look over here. Yeah, I think it'll be risky. I personally think it'll be risky. What I would want to see is I want to see some sort of a support being created on 30-minute time frame. You know, price comes up, comes down to create a support, and then buys for price to continue moving up. That's what I would want to take. You know, because this right here, I mean, this will be, I would say this will be very, very, very risky because this has already been running up. You know, so we don't know how far it's going to run up and then it's going to start retracing, right? Because in the 4 hour, we just see some clean candles right over here. Can I get your input? Let's take a look here. This is GJ 30-minute. Candles consolidating in the zone, hence not taking a trade in that zone. Waiting for candles to close above this area for buys. Okay, looks good. Yep, so this green area is an area where you should be having your trade, right? Because you have clean candle to the left-hand side, and just makes sense. Once price breaks above 141, 141, 130, 140, it's going to have a much easier chance climbing up. I think this could be a first target area here, 141, 141, 400. Why does cutting your lot size while in a trade help? Because you can really manage your risk that way. Have been taking a screenshot every post of Raja and Ted? Oh, nice, nice. Fan appreciation day here today. Fan appreciation. Would appreciate it if you tell me what I did wrong. All right, let's do that. Let's see what you did wrong over here. Price had created support with a higher low, took entries as price broke the high of the 15-minute candle. I would think you took entries right over here. Once price came here, I put buy stops at BE. Should have waited longer to put. Well, when you put buy stops at BE, that means here's what happens, right? When you put your buy stops at break even, number one, you're accepting the fact that price will retrace and stop you out at break even, right? You're accepting that. Number two, I forgot number two, but that's just the number one, right? That you're accepting the fact that price will come down. Price will come down and hit your BE, but at the same time, I think what you also need to do is whenever you put stops at break even, also secure some positions. Yeah, secure profits. Perfect. You have to secure profits. Whenever you put stops at break even, you have to secure profits. That's very important, right? Because at the same time, I mean, you could get stop out, so you gotta do that too. Had a little brain fart over there. Alright, let's take a look at this GP-CAD chart. This GP-CAD chart. Wait for this candle. Ooh, looks like we're in buys over here. Nice. Wait for candle to break the half of the previous candle. Okay. Want to see a bull reversal. Solid bullish. Like to see. Yeah, I think this should continue moving up. I mean, if we're breaking above the highs right over here. Let's take a look at our Chinese indicator over here. Let's see. Pound is closed, right? Because it's the pound holiday, so pound is closed. Looking at GP-CAD, let me just pull up my chart over here on GP-CAD. All right, so looking at the daily, we're rejecting a resistance. Looking at the 4 hour, Looks like 4 hour came down to do a retest to continue moving up. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. 1 hour is continuing moving up here based on a 1 hour candle. We formed support. It makes sense for next candle to continue moving up. Let's see how much it has moved here. It says moved like 10 pips. Okay. Let's take a look on the 30 minute. 30 minutes is also broken the high here. So yeah, it makes sense for it to continue moving up. I think what it might do, it might come up, create like a minor resistance, and then come down to retest the low. That's kind of what I can see right over here, because we've only made a low right here, right? We've made a low after this big push down at London Open. So you'd want price to create some sort of a minor resistance and then come down to retest the low. What's the difference with trading a USD account and CAD account? Profits or losses are calculated in that currency? Yes, it's all the same. Ooh, point of resistance, minor resistance formed here. If this price breaks, yeah, I mean, if pound, if you have the 30-minute candle closing above, you know, all these candles here to the left, it just makes sense for it to continue moving up. Yeah, I honestly think it's going to continue moving bullish. If you get a close above 141, 140, I think it's a very, very high probability it's going to continue moving up, because now when you look left, you have this clean traffic right over here. Where's my arrow? So you got clean traffic right over here, clean candle that came down. So when you have a clean candle coming down to the left hand side, and if you're breaking above resistance, there's a very high probability that price will mirror that clean candle and continue moving up. So that's something you could look for. Probably it's going to be best to wait for price to basically close above this area. You got the 15-minute candle closing in 5 minutes. Oh, GJ, I entered impulsively on the little retracement, closed 90% with 10 pips, leaving the runner, 3 possible re-entry. Oh, beautiful, man. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I mean, if you do form some sort of a, like, you know, if you do have a retracement, then there you could take second entries, you know, add entries to the position for price to continue moving up. Why play it cool last day of the month? Is there a specific reason? Yeah, you want to play it cool at the last day of the month so that you don't lose the profits you made in the month, right? I mean, that's the most logical thing you can basically think of when someone tells you to play it cool in the last day of the month. Because imagine you lose your profits, you know, at the last day of the month. How stupid will you feel? So you have to basically relax. 15-minute candle is about to close in 4 minutes. I would say maybe letting the 30-minute candle closing would be a much better idea, you know, because then you're going to be more confident. What's the difference between pairs ending with IMX and those with H don't? Oh, those are just different symbols for ECN accounts and standard accounts.
Yeah, I think also too, if people are confused with why we're cautious at the end of the month, look at your smaller time frames. So a lot of times when we've spoken, we speak about the fact that we wait for candles to close, right? So you'll say, okay, I'm going to wait for the 15-minute candle to close. I'm going to wait for the 30-minute candle to close before I take an entry in those scenarios. Now think about this on the higher time frame. We're coming towards the end of the month, so we have a major candle close, right? So a lot of things can happen at that point, and what you can say to yourself is this: you can say, hey, listen, we see a lot of times you know, smaller time frames do some crazy things before the candle actually closes, right? You know, there's instances where you've wanted to take buys, and then in the last 5 minutes the candle has gone the opposite direction, and you know, you're lucky that you didn't enter. It's a similar scenario here, where what we want to do is we want to allow the monthly candle to finish off, so that now tomorrow the new day, the new monthly candle starts, but now we can get a fresh idea, a fresh direction of where we're gonna go. So it's just a matter of preference. Similar to if you're trading on a Friday, you know, you have the weekly candle coming to a close. You really don't want to put yourself in a position where you're taking on additional risk, whereas you can wait an extra day, or, you know, like on a Friday you can come to a Monday and Tuesday and then actually, you know, start your week off with fresh information. But more importantly, the market will have sort of refreshed, in the sense that usually Fridays the market's pretty stale. Like if you think about it, the whole week we've been moving, and then, you know, you want to try and take a position on Friday. There's a lot more, I guess, indecision coming in, because there's people leaving the market on a Friday, and then there's also people entering a market on a Friday. So here at the last candle, or, you know, the last day of the month, we have people leaving the market, and we also have people entering the market starting next month. So us as retail traders, what we're looking to try and do is take advantage where the market has already set up and is settled, and allow us to come in, you know, as a second place finisher in that respect. We don't want to have to drive direction. We don't want to have to guess direction. Let the institutions choose the direction, and we'll follow it behind. But the idea right now is, what you do is you look to see what are possible scenarios coming up for the next couple of days, and plan accordingly at that point, if that makes sense.
Looks like GJ's going to continue moving up over here. I'm going to wait for the 30-minute candle to close, and then I'll see if I can take an entry. But looking at the 15-minute candle to close here, you know, like if it continues to run up, that's totally fine. But for me to take a trade with super confidence, I want the 30-minute candle to close, and then retracement somewhere to, you know, 160, 150, and then I think an entry at that point is going to make much more sense to me, you know, personally. Just wondering, it's a bank holiday, so how come you are trading today? I'm going to ignore that question. What do you think about this trade? Is it going to end up good or not? All right, let's take a look here. Ooh, wrong chart. Oh no, actually, I put the email over there. Oh, got someone's email over there temporarily. All right, your USD. A little bit early entry. I think you had a pretty good entry. Your stop was also below these candles on the 30-minute. You see candles closing above. It was risky. I think it was risky a little bit because, you know, the candle bodies were pretty small, which signifies that the volume is dying. But it moved in your favor, so I think it's pretty good now. This is the start of the new 15-minute candle here on GPJPY, also on your JPY. I know some people are in buys on your JPY and on GBJPY. I'm waiting for price to maybe like come down, create a support. Maybe I'm waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. Once the 30-minute candle closes above this area, then I'm going to be able to say, okay, you know what? Now Raja Banks is ready to take a trade with confidence, you know. Because if I'm going to take a trade and if I'm going to put it up on the screen, I want that trade to be a good, solid opportunity. Because I know some people take the same trades and, you know, like, basically, we want everybody to win. Today's bank holiday in the UK, yes. So if you look in gold, this scenario here on gold, this same scenario is what we have on the weekly time frame. Look at this on the weekly, right? Price came up, made a high at 2044, came down, created a support, and now it's trying to come up over here. And if you look on the 30-minute, it's kind of like the same scenario. Price came down, created support, this candle closed above, and it looks like it wants to continue moving up. Can someone tell me the gold spread right now? Just curious on a new broker. Gold spread right now is pretty high. It's like about 3 pips, 3.5 pips. Impulse entry, if you break above previous 15-minute candle on GJ, too risky. I think instead of focusing on impulse entries, man, you guys need to focus on how to take entries when candles are closing. How to be confident in taking entries when candles are closing. Because impulse entries are extremely risky entries. Impulse entry means you're taking an entry at the very top. I think people need to really forget that concept of impulse entries. I mean, impulse entries is an advanced concept. Simple, basic concept is being confident enough in taking a trade when candle is closing. That should be your number one step. Um, I don't know about impulse entries, man. Like people, first you need to get consistent with taking entries. If you're going to take an impulse entry right over here, you should be able to take an entry right over here. Because if you're taking an impulse entry, your stop is going to be a little wider right over here. But if you're taking an entry when candle is closing and retracing here, now your stop is going to be smaller. So why would you want to take a risky entry with a larger stop loss when you can take a better entry having a smaller stop loss? Doesn't make any sense. Um, yeah, so me personally, I'm waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. And as I wait for the 30-minute candle to close, I know that I might miss the trade. But at the same time, if I don't miss the trade and if price does come down in the 30-minute, then I can have a better entry and a better chance of making more profits. So that's a trade-off when you wait for the candles to close. Because sometimes you miss the trade and that's totally fine. Because it's the last day of the month, so it's just all okay. Alright, let's take a look at this chart here. This is Euro New Zealand support. Candle close bullish doji, entries 2% with stops below the previous candle. Beautiful. Waiting to fill the wick, it's going to be around 10 pips to close 50%. Amazing. Yeah, it's pretty good over here. Looks like GJ is continuing up over here, man. Looks like I'm going to miss the move. Alright. Second attempt of the day. Second attempt for buys on Euro New Zealand. Hey, looking for my second attempt on EN. Looking for buy if we can close above the minor resistance on the far left. I think a better entry could have been right over here, as we were breaking the high, or even, when this candle closed, because then your stop would have been over here, and I think that's where a second entry should have been, because this was your first confirmation right here. Okay, so basically, your first weak confirmation was this candle closing with no wick at the bottom, because then this candle has no range to go down, and this was your, your solid confirmation right here, that the candle closed with no wick, then you had a candle closing bullish above the same area, so it made sense for price to continue moving up. So that's where you should put your trust in. You should really put your trust in how the candles are closing and how you expect them to move. So slowly it's going to get better. Started off trading 0.01 lots in January, just reached 1 lot today. Oh, beautiful. And when you reach 1 lot, that's when things start to change a little bit. Hey, took this trade last night, which didn't go my way. Any advice that I could have done better next time? Alright, let's take a look over here. Let's take a look over here at this trade. Your entry was here. I have no idea where the entry was. No clue at all. Entry was here, it was over here, it was where? It just doesn't make any sense. Is this chart from the past? There's a lot of things missing here, sorry, so I can't spend more time on that chart. Take a look at your JPY. Your JPY is still trading at 126 to 39, no, 395. See, now this is a very good example of a labeled chart right over here. Resistance, broke at the volume. That bearish candle, think it was liquidity drop. You enter right over here, and it's running. It's pretty good.
That was actually a really good trade.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to keep on running here. GJ and EJ.
Yeah, GJ, if you're looking at the 15-minute chart, if it does move, we have pretty clean traffic all the way up to about 141, 450. To be safe, I would say 141, 375, but I think you might get 141, 450 today. Even on, yeah, so, okay, you got it. Yeah, the, this area over here should fill. You have this area that's all clean, so we should finish that off. It's 725 right now, so probably you might get a little bit of a pullback, and then you might get a push further up, like in the next half hour. You get a dip down and then a push up.
Why can I see the trade so clear in hindsight, but I can't see it in real time? The reason why is because, when you look at it hindsight, it just makes perfect sense. But the more you look at it and the more you try to make sense of it, the more it starts to look much clearer as you're looking at it in a live environment. Because, hindsight is the best vision you have. And the more you look at it, then the more you ask questions, okay, these things happen, okay, why did these things happen? How can they happen again? So then your live eyesight starts to get better and better as you start looking at those things. But sometimes when people take trades and they don't work out, and when they look at the trade after that has ran, they look at that and say, man, I knew it's going to happen. I knew price was going to go this way. Why does all this happen to me? You start blaming yourself, you start blaming the market, you start blaming the person next to you who told you to take the wrong trade, but you don't start to look at why it happened. And if this happens again, what are you going to do to execute on that? So you really need to start focusing on those things. Do you have a favorite pair to trade? Yes. GPJPY is my favorite pair to trade. Please suggest how can we improve self-control. I write my trade plan but don't end up following it. Well, that's not our problem if you don't follow your trading plan. You have a trading plan, and a trading plan says 1 or 2 trades, and if you're not doing 1 or 2 trades, what do you want us to do about it? Tie your hands,
It's like you gotta get one. I think that's the next product. We gotta build a USB like electrocuting like a little buzzer that you can attach to your finger or something, like when your hand's on the mouse, and then we can do interactive sessions here on the live stream, so people can purchase the wire, connect to their USB in their computer, and hook up the little sensor to their finger, like their pinky finger or their thumb, and anytime that they need sort of discipline or control, Raja can push a button on his side, and everyone that's connected to that can get a jolt of electricity in their finger.
That's not a bad idea.
Magic hands.
Magic.
There'll be magic keys and magic hands. Order your magic hands for discipline. Someone will slap you on the wrist. There you go, the magic finger, magic zapper. There we go. We can have there will be a whole suite of magic products. Magic keys, magic zapper.
Oui, salut, je vais te prendre ma gueule BLT, s'il te plaît. Hello.
This guy's ordering Tim Hortons right now.
Ooh, very nice. Entered at the break of the 30-minute high. Pretty good, pretty good. I think how much was this? We broke the high in the 30-minute. It ran for about 15 pips. Stop was like 13, 14 pips. Not bad. Not bad for a bank holiday on a Monday. Hey, I couldn't really catch what the lady was accusing you of yesterday on IG. She thinks there's also a metaphor. Yeah,
We don't worry about that. That was Sunday. It's
No,
Monday
not
now.
important.
Nope, it's Monday now. We're already past that.
In the gulag where she belongs.
Do you guys paying any mind to the daily time frame gold breakout? Yes.
Good morning, guys. Good question. Or to Ted or Rakeel. Even though it's a bank holiday for Britain, why is it like volume happening right now?
You got the European market still open. So
Okay.
Europe's still open, and then you got sort of the beginning. I mean, obviously not exactly, but you would probably have the start of the USA session. It's similar to when the US session is off. You know, you still have flow from the European session and the UK markets, so the European and UK markets. So similar things happening here. You know, once again, I mean, FX is mainly algo driven. So yeah, there's probably a little bit lighter volume, but I mean, the computers aren't taking the day off. I think what you might find is when we have bank holidays, we advise against trading on bank holidays because it's not necessarily volume will be low. I mean, you can see that it does slow a bit, but it's more of the erratic nature that could happen because essentially you don't have the same transactions happening that you would when people are in the office, so to speak, right? Think of algorithms as just they're just obviously just computers working all the time, but then there could be as the market goes on throughout the day, you know, people interjecting with actual information to say, okay, you know what, large transactions have to go through, things of that nature. So it's just more of the fact that, you know, you don't have as much manual intervention when there's a bank holiday compared to when there isn't a bank holiday, right? So the algos are still going to run, everything is still going to move, but it's a little bit safer when you have, you know, more manual information there as well.
Okay, because I was thinking like I don't think this whole volume push is like an everyday thing. Especially when it comes to like, you know, any bank holidays, whether it's you know, the UK, Canada, or the US, and you know, you see like low volume. So I was kind of surprised to see like this candle pushing up as far as it did.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
So-
you're gonna get spillover. Like a lot of times too on a Monday, you're getting spillover from Friday's volume, right? So Friday we had a lot of activity. There was a lot of big movements with the pairs. So a lot of times now I've noticed just over the last 6 months, Monday's a spillover day. So whatever's happened on Friday, we usually get a continuation on the Monday.
Okay.
And it used to be Monday we get a pullback, and then Tuesday you'd get the official move. Now it seems like Monday you get a spillover from Friday, Tuesday you get the pullback, or Wednesday you get the pullback, and then, you know, the rest of the week after that continues trend. It seems to be there's always one day of the week now that we get a pullback or just a bit of a retracement, and then we have a continued move throughout the rest of the week. If you look at the last, say, 6 to 8 weeks, and if you've looked at one specific day, there's always one specific day in the week where we've had a pullback. So I've watched that closely, where it seems like, you know, we used to have, like, say, the Wednesday Thursday carryover, right? So whatever happened Wednesday usually carried over and happened again on Thursday, like you know, you have a continued trend. Now it seems like Friday Monday is doing that as well. So it's just something, like, small things to keep in mind as you're trading.
All right, thanks, Ted.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, this is starts the new 30-minute candle here. So for me to take a trade here, for me to take like a really good trade on GPY for price to continue on towards 141.450, I would want price to create some sort of a support, like retrace, create a support, and then continue moving up. But if that doesn't happen, I know someone's gonna ask, oh, what if that doesn't happen? Then maybe, you know, then there's no trade. even if price goes towards 141, 450 without creating a support, that's still no trade because it didn't fulfill your requirements to take the trade. You know, it doesn't matter what you wanted to see. What matters is what the market wanted to print so that you could take your trade. So I think if you're looking to see, like, you know, how you could be more disciplined, that's the best way to, you know, go about that, than wait for price to do some things you want to see. Please check this out. Let's take a look here. GJ. We got a GJ chart coming right up. Wait for a 15 to 30 minute candle to retest and bounce off previous resistance, turning into support. Yep, that's something what I'm looking for here too. For price to come down, create a support, and then continue up towards, you know, this area here for NY Open. It's been market all morning as EN moves so simply. No professional money in the UK markets. Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at this chart here. This chart is coming straight from the gulag. GJ, 30 minute, looks like a fake out. Okay, looks like a fake out, walks like a fake out. Entered on break and retest, stop loss in the 30 minute candle. Perfect. That's something I'm looking for right over here too. So I think it's going to be a pretty good trade if we get that support formed. Raja, do you remember talking options yesterday? Man, the guy asked me as if it happened like 10 years ago. No. Yeah, gold is starting to move up here too. Here's the question: zero spread with commission or low spread without commission? I would say zero spread. There's no such thing as low spread without commission. There's no such thing like that. There's high spread without commission, and there is zero spread. There's no such thing as zero spread. Looks like gold is going to continue moving up towards, you know, into the 1969 and 1970 area. I can also say I have learned as much from you not taking a trade as when you are one. Thank you for your patience and showing how. Yeah, man. I mean, to make money in the market, it takes time, and that time is in learning, you know, like what it means to be disciplined, what it means to wait for your trade. Like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that you learn while you're waiting. You know, mostly what happens is like when you're coming onto these systems, your TradingView, your MetaTrader, your C-Trader, or your Thinkorswim, wherever you trade, you know, these systems are designed for you to enter the market. That's basically it. Like these systems are here to help you to execute a trade into the market. If you and I mean, with that said, I mean, now you have time frames like, you know, the 1 minute time frame. You can watch the ticks move at the same time. So when you're watching those smaller time frames, those are enticing you to take trades, because what's happening is that like all these what are those strategies that you learn about, you know, like trend lines and like other technical confirmations. Those technical confirmations are going to be there on smaller time frames, you know, when price is moving really quick, and that's going to entice you to take trades. So it's really important for you to understand that, okay, like, you know what, smaller time frames like 1 minute, 5 minutes, sometimes they can give you good trades, but most times those trades are going to have very, very weak confirmations. You know, that's why it's really, really important for you to wait for confirmations on the 30-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame, sometimes, you know, like rarely 15-minute time frames, because like, you know, the more you wait, the better confirmation you're going to get based on the higher time frames, you know, and by the higher time frames, I mean a 30-minute time frame and a 1 hour time frame. Obviously, when you look at the 4-hour and the daily, so those are much higher time frames, and that's a whole nother thing. All right, let's take a look at this chart by JTM Forex. Price form daily support at 148.70. Entry was on the retest candle right over here. Stop set to 25 pips in profit. Target set to 318. 141.318. I think you could get to 141.450. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good trade though. Everyone making fun of JTM Forex for smoking a blunt on the stream. Man, he's in a bot. He's chilling right now. Uncle Ted, you rock, bro. Uncle Ted, you rock.
Sure. Whatever that means.
You paper. You sis.
Yeah, exactly.
Raja, chew paper.
Yeah. Sir, could you please look at my chart on UJ and tell me if my analysis is right? Well, who am I to tell you if you're right or wrong, but we'll take a look at that here. This is broke resistance, formed support, took a buy on this candle here. I guess you got lazy and didn't write numbers here, but clean traffic, TP. Yeah, it makes sense. So now this is a 30-minute time frame. You're expecting this 30-minute candle to respect. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So when we zoom in, so basically what I would say is maybe you're expecting this candle to respect the low here and continue moving bullish. I think that's something that might happen. Oh, too zoomed in right now. I think gold will continue on to 1969, 1970s. You're looking more like The Rock. I don't know, man. I don't know. Would definitely consider getting your when I can afford it. Hope you can look at this EJ trade I took. Much love from India. I learned so much psychology from here. Thank you, thank you. Ooh, look at this bias taken as a candle broke above over here. This is the 15-minute chart on your JPY. Closed 2.8%. Oh no, 80% closed. Okay, I was gonna say 2.8%. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Now, if price forms a support at this point, then that's gonna support price to continue up towards your target right over here. Kind of like what's happening on GJ right now. You know, price went up. Right over here, 141.300. It's retracing now. I want it to create some sort of support so we can continue on towards 141.450. Why not take the breakout on GJ like how it hardly do retest? Because at that point, I realized that it's a bank holiday for the pound. At the same time, it's a bank holiday for the JPY at this time too, because the JPY banks are closed at this time. So it didn't make sense for me to, look for a trade, because also it's a bank holiday and we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we could have some erratic movements, right? So that's why I decided to let this trade go, and I decided to wait if we form a support, and then I can take a buy for price to continue moving up. Also, it's the last day of the month, and I know a lot of people are going to lose some profits here today on a Monday because they want to make profits fast for this week, or they'd lose profits because they'll just end up being dumb on a Monday when it's not a Monday, it's the last day of the month. So when you look at your monthly results, this day today is going to really dictate where your monthly results are going to go. Either you can have a profitable last week and you can just, fuck up those results today, or you can just, say, hey, like, you know what, I'm going to play it cool, and I'm going to be relaxed, and I'm only going to trade if it really sticks out. So for me to take a trade, I want price to create a support so I can take a buy and we can continue moving up. If that doesn't happen, then there's no trade for me. And that's how real traders should, think. I mean, I'm not going to consider myself as a real trader, but just to give an example, right? Hey, I heart this bias. I think you meant you love this bias. That one candle breaks the zone, price will usually retest zone. What do you think of this? Yeah, I think so too. Price broke this zone, so usually, I mean, technically, price should come down to retest this area and then continue moving up. Because there's a probability, okay? There's a probability. The probability is that whenever price is trending up, it's going to create a high. And how do we know it's going to create a high? Well, a candle is going to form bearish. So when price is moving up, you have a candle closing bearish, that means the high has been formed. Once the high has been formed, price is going to create a support, and once the support has been formed, now this is the probability I play off of, right? Then there's an 80% chance that price will retest that high. So we wait for the support formed, we got confirmation. Some people will take impulse entries, some people will take entries based on that support formed, and then we're going to continue up to retest the high, and if there's more volume, we're going to continue up towards 141, 450. That's something I'm waiting to happen. If that happens, I'm going to take a trade. If that doesn't happen, then, too bad, so sad. No trade for me. You have a ghost on your chair. Your chair was swinging. No, man, it's my leg right over here. Boom. Boom. Ooh, looks like your JPY is about to pump up further bullish towards 126,600.
Sasha's giving us a sermon over there.
Sasha's giving some. Oh, Salmon.
Oh man, I'm trying to build up that sit desk.
Oh, instructions. It looked like you were sitting there like reading to us.
What desk is that? Is that from IKEA?
Actually, I tried, but they were back order for so long. I actually found one on Amazon. It's Vivo.
You get a good deal on that, Sasha?
Yeah, it was like, how much was it? $159, I think.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
We'll see how it goes. It looks complicated.
Nothing can stop gold. It's all the way up. Yes. Hey, can I ask you a question? Yes. Let's take a look here. Looks like gold is really going to come into 1970s. All right, what's this? EJ, this pattern you usually trade when candles from support resistance. Yep. So where's the question? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I said that a lot yesterday in my head.
I don't understand.
Oh. The world's a funny place.
Man, the memes were just hilarious.
Oh, they were great. I had a good laugh. I thought they were amazing. I would have had a couple of better ones, to be honest. Because there was a couple of good things, like the Mercury retrograde when she thought I was being serious.
I was like, what? Mercury retrograde. Yeah, we can't start right now because Mercury is in retrograde. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't even know that.
And then we realized, oh, it's 2 months from now. Oh, no, start right now. That's okay. Yeah. We gotta start right now.
Oh, it was, and she, I guess her boyfriend or husband sits on the side and throws and is like the hype machine. Did you hear that too?
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh,
Big
yeah.
one.
And then they
Ooh.
play sound effects. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. There was this one meme that there was like about withdrawing from demo account. You can't do it. You're like, no, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Oh, it was so entertaining. Oh, I didn't realize if you do IG live with somebody else, it just keeps running. Like I thought I only had an hour. That's why I was
Oh,
like, I'm gonna go have lunch, and I was like, okay, I can sit here for an hour and entertain her. And then it kept going, and by the time I was like, oh man, it's been like 3 hours.
what's this? I recently watched the adding positions bit on market fluidity. I'm not confident on adding positions. What's your suggestion on building confidence? I think the best suggestion is going to be if you think you should be adding a position at a certain point, I think add like 0.01 and see how it goes. Slowly you're going to get confident that way. But confidence is going to take time. So you got to build that confidence from smaller positions. Just like when you have a smaller account, you build confidence in taking trades with smaller positions, and as you get better, you start, adding more risk to it, or you add more money to it. Adding positions to winning trades is the same idea. That's like adding positions to winning trades is like you took a trade, you got stopped out, and now you're giving your trades a second chance. That's what it is. So you start small, and as you start to get confident, as you start to get better results, you start increasing your risk, and away we go, and then eventually you start making more profits. Let's take a look at this idea here. Ooh, what's this? Gold idea. Stupidest trade of the day straight from the gulag. This has put you in the ignore room right now. Because trading is not funny.
Hey, did you know on Call of Duty now they have a tournament, like a 2-on-2 tournament? I'm horrible at those. I played it yesterday. The guy on my team carried the team we went all the way to the semifinals.
Oh, it's a gun battle?
Yeah, it's a 2-on-2 battle, like best of 5 or best of 6 or whatever. And he carried me the whole way. I was standing there like I couldn't do anything.
He must have been like, dude, come on.
Yeah, like literally, I think he muted me because I was like, oh, he's around the corner. The guy's around the corner because I kept getting shot. But I actually saved one round. I killed both those guys after he got killed. I killed them both. So he must have been, man, this guy actually did something for once.
Yeah, he actually shot. Would a buy on GJ be sensible at the break of the 15-minute resistance? Yeah, I would say so. Like once the 15-minute candle breaks the high or free close bullish, the only problem with this 15-minute candle closing bullish here is that we're coming into NY open at that point. And once this 15-minute candle closes bullish, the NY open can push price down, like further down for a deeper retest. So that's why I think it'll be much better for the 30-minute candle to kind of like, close bullish, so give me that confirmation that, okay, now we're definitely heading up towards 141, 450. Because if the 15-minute candle closes bullish and the 30-minute candle closes bearish, we're still creating that high. We're making that high for price to, maybe further on coming down. So if you're looking for buys and your 15-minute candle is in your favor, I don't think it makes a difference because you would want the 30-minute candle a much stronger confirmation to be in your favor.
There was a question here regarding lot sizes for accounts, and what is the standard lot size you should be using for accounts. Okay, so this is something that if you want to write down or timestamp, it's now 7:51 a.m. Timestamp this, come back to it later. There is no rule of thumb for lot size. What it is it's your risk per trade. and how you're setting up your stop loss, right? So if I have a wider trade or a trade that has more pip potential, then my stop loss is obviously going to be a little bit wider. So my lot size will be smaller. Now, if I have a bit like a tighter trade or a quicker trade, maybe my lot size can be bigger. The thing is, it's what you're risking. So if you risk 2%, the lot size has to fit within that 2% risk parameter. So if we have $1,000 account and you're risking 2%, technically what you're risking is you're risking, $20 as an example. You have to be able to divide that $20 up according to the lot size you want to use based on the trade that you're looking to take. So if I have a 10 or 20 or 30 pip trade, I know now I have to divide those pips into now what is going to be my stop loss, right? So if my stop loss is 10 pips and I'm using $20 worth of risk or 2%, I can adjust my lot size to equal that $10 as an example. So maybe I do 1 pip and I do 3 pip win, 1 pip risk. So 1 pip is basically $10. So I can open up a single lot, and if it moves 1 pip, I lose my trade. So that doesn't make any sense. So as you start to scale down in the lot positions, if I open up a 0.1 lot position, now I can have a 10 pip stop loss. If I open up 0.01, now I can have 100 pip stop loss. Like, these are things that you have to calculate once you've defined how much you want to risk in your account. You calculate your lot size based on the stop loss of your trade. If you need a wider stop loss, you have to lower your lot size. You don't increase your risk, you lower your lot size and maintain the same risk. But those are always going to be variables as you're trading, and as you get more comfortable, then you can say, hey, listen, I can have a tighter stop loss, so I can increase my lot size but still maintain my risk, so I'm able to collect pips faster or collect money faster based on a certain trade. So that's how you would manage your risk according to lot size, according to stop loss. So you first figure out your stop loss, and then you figure out your comfort level when it comes to the lot size based on a stop loss. If you need a wider stop loss, you need a smaller lot size. You want a tighter stop loss, you can have a higher lot size. That's the simplest way to do calculations based on that, and there are calculators on the internet to help you out with that as well. That's exactly, so it shouldn't be that difficult for people to figure out. It really comes down to how you're going to attempt the trade and what your stop loss is going to be.
Yeah, Ted, I think at the same time, there's a little bit of a confusion, like how you can use basic math to calculate percentages and lot sizes.
Calculate 0.02 times 1,000, and that'll give you the number.
But can you prove it?
Or you could just use Magic Keys and input the information yourself. Magic Keys is available across the internet at all fine internet retailers.
But could you prove it?
I only push buttons. I don't push the buttons. I don't use.
If I gave you $10,000, can you prove it?
Oh dear.
It's gonna be written in history, you know.
I know. I realize I'm going to be, if I ever have kids, they're going to go on the internet and look me up, and they'll be like, Dad, why do they have all these memes about you? Dad, who were you back in the 2000s?
Yeah.
And I'll tell them I was an internet lore. There were people all around the world that wanted to know what I did and how I did it. And then people would come and try and take me off this magical throne they've created for me. I think that's the best part, when people are like, I'm taking the throne from you, or I'm taking the crown. I'm like, I didn't have one to begin with, so I don't know where you're taking it from.
I didn't understand it at all. That was like, where did that come from? Like, honestly, I'm the king of this shit. I'm like, what? What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yeah, just you just sort of look and you have a good laugh and you're like, all right, cool. Like sometimes we give people what they want, right? I feel like sometimes I'm the Make-A-Wish guy on the internet. Like, there's people that are hurting, they got terminal mental illnesses in their head, and they just turn around and they're like, hey, like, my Make-A-Wish is to go on live with Ted and just talk to him and, try and tell him what he's not doing right. And then I do it, and then they're happy. They can die happy because I fulfilled their Make-A-Wish. Like I'm trying to beat John Cena's record now, but on the internet. So if there's people that have mental illnesses or they're feeling down about who they are on the internet, I mean, just DM me. We can do Instagram Live, and we'll do Make-A-Wish, and you'll feel validated because there'll be like 500 people watching you talk to me and tell me all these things.
The funny thing is that I've seen the same behavior with other celebrities. Like one, for instance, I forgot her name, something Azalea. She always tweets about other people's issues, and then it's just like when people confront her, she goes out to these tangents. And I've seen the exact same behavior, exact same thing with this individual. So it's just like, wow, that's a real problem, honestly. But yeah, that's my 2 cents about that, to be honest. But it's a problem. Yeah.
I totally agree. And I mean, I sort of made a joke about the Make-A-Wish thing, and it's not like, it was just sort of a parody.
Facetious,
yeah. But I believe that a lot of the psychological traits of people, it is manifested on a keyboard or on like social media. I mean, you find that people have this unpronounced freedom that maybe in a real life situation they wouldn't have that same freedom, and that's actually scary because you're basically feeding that aspect of yourself that you shouldn't have. Like there shouldn't be, like, you shouldn't really be jealous of somebody else, to be honest.
No, it's true. Yeah.
If someone's successful, you should be congratulating them, or you should just be ignoring them. Like you shouldn't be looking to find fault in their success. I think as individuals, social media has really pushed that envelope, but it would be like if you walked up to a guy driving a Ferrari, like what would you do? Kick his door in and be like, well, I hate the fact that you drive a Ferrari. Like you wouldn't do that, right? But if you saw somebody on the internet with a Ferrari, you'd just be like, well, you probably did something that wasn't correct to get it, right? And it's like, well, don't worry about that. Like worry about your plate. But it just seems like the internet has manifested those emotions that in society are ruled not the best, right? Like envy, greed, all those things, all those things that we're not supposed to promote as human beings. It just seems like the internet really emphasizes those or manifests it and magnifies that information, and it's just unfortunate. I mean, a lot of, and like I said, it's only a small percentage, maybe like 5%, but the rest of the people actually understand and they do want to learn and do well. But it's scary that like there are people like that walking around.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I remember like one time I seen, I was at a gas station, and one guy rolled up in a Nissan GTR, I think when it was brand new at the time, like the new GTR. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I just, walked up to him and said, hey, how much was it? He didn't really go into detail, but like I asked him, what do you do? And he kind of went into detail, but it's like, yo, man, I like to own a car like that one day. And he's like, yeah, no problem. You'll be able to do it. And I never felt the need to be like, oh, this guy's a GTR, this guy thinks he's a big shot. Like, and that never crossed my mind. It's like, how do you get that? How do I get that? And that's always been my mentality. I never had feel the reason to hate somebody. Like, for instance, Rakeel got his house. Big ups to him, man. Like, that's a big movement, right? But I guarantee you, somebody out there in the gulag or whatever, they say, oh, this guy has a big house, so he thinks he's a shit. And I never understood that mentality. Something I just don't.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
It's
sad. Yeah.
it's like I said, it's just a magnification of people's personal lives that they're not satisfied with, and instead of them, just being honest with people, and I always say this to people, and I've been a witness to this, is when you talk to a successful person, they're never going to judge you, or they're never going to turn around and look down at you. They're actually going to try and figure out ways to help you, because they've been through a lot of the stuff you've been through. So it's just more of like they have a fast track for you, and they'll say, hey, like this is what you should focus on. Maybe look at these different things, because it takes too much. Like, in all honesty, people ask me all the time, they're like, why do you help people? It takes too much effort not to help people. Like, it takes too much effort for me. If I'm going to respond to somebody and be like, yeah, I'm not interested in helping you, well, like, I shouldn't respond at all. Like, the same effort for a response that would be like, I don't want to help you, is the same effort I can put in to be like, hey, check out this page, do this. Have you checked out this? Have you looked at this? Does this make sense? Like, it didn't take any more time out of my day to give you a bit of information than it did to say, no, I'm not helping you, leave me alone. Like, it's the exact same keystrokes on like, if people are messaging me, or if I'm out on the street, someone stops me, if I'm already outside, unless I'm in a super hurry, I always take my time and I'll stop, because I mean, really, what's 5 or 10 minutes talking to somebody? Like, it's nothing. Like, it's really just a small fraction of your life throughout the day, and it gives you different perspective on things, right? So I think as you start to gain success for anybody, you start to realize what power you have in terms of shaping other people, and it creates a cascade or a trickle effect. And I mean, there's a reason why there's 3,000 people watching this every morning. It's not because Raja comes on here and says, hey, I don't want to help you. He's out here helping people, and people recognize that, and they're telling their friends, and their friends are telling their friends, and everybody's growing together. And I think if people continuously do that in all aspects of their life, you feel a lot more fulfilled. You don't feel it right away, but as time goes on, you start to really feel good about yourself in that point.
Totally agree, 100%. Yeah, for sure. Because like, can you imagine if Rakeel only kept it for himself? Like, I mean, what, we wouldn't even be speaking about like some of the things and the ideas that you guys share, and you wouldn't have as much successful traders as they are now.
Yeah,
right.
And truthfully, Rakeel's not that type of person, though. That's the thing. Like, it's not in his nature not to want to help people. As much as he gives people a hard time, he's a genuinely good person. Like, he looks out for everybody. That's just his nature. Like, he's never been one to, I always look at what we do here as going into battle, right? We're all soldiers. We're all trying to win against the market. And it's like, Raja's one of those guys that, he would run out there and grab you and pull you back in, back into the tent, just to help you, to make sure you were safe. And then, he'd slap you across the head afterwards and be like, hey, you're an idiot. You're not supposed to run out there when I told you not to run out there. But, at the time, he would come and grab you. If you kept doing it over and over again, he'd probably just let you die afterwards. But but for the first couple of times, he'll always pull you back and just remind you, like, hey, this is a long-term game, right? And I think as individuals, we have to recognize that. And there's natural leaders. I see it in the YouTube chat. There's natural leaders. There's people that want other people to succeed. And there's also people that are followers that don't have the leadership ability, but, eventually they'll learn about it. They'll gain that leadership ability because they'll gain confidence in themselves. And I think that's important as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So right now we see this candle, like just as we expected for price to come down. If you form support over here, I think it's going to be a pretty good opportunity to take a buy position and continue moving up. Beautiful. Yeah, I think if we wouldn't have started the live streams, I wouldn't have met the people that I know now. Like wherever we go now, I know that there's someone out there, like will be, I don't know, just from a social perspective, I think it was a pretty good decision to go live. When was the house warming party? It was yesterday. We had 22 people over and no one called the cops. So success. Yeah,
So
man, we
you
were very.
good neighborhoods.
Yeah, we had good neighbors. No one snitched. What's this? What do you think? GJ will form support right here. Yes. That's, oh no, right over here, down here. I mean, again, guys, listen, 15 minutes. This chart is from the Gulag, all right? That's expected. Yeah, so basically, we need price to form sort of support right over here, and then continue moving up. If it doesn't form support, and if it doesn't go up, then you know, then there's no trade today. Hey man, I've been trading with your broker, but has not allowed me to trade XRP. Always open to trade, and it keep on 0-0. Can you help me with that, bro? Yeah, I think you need to contact the support team. This is not a this live stream is not a support for, you know, certain things. But also when you're trading, I mean, crypto, I think the leverage is pretty low on crypto. So you would need more money to trade crypto. Oh, it had answered that already. Any good broker in UK with low spreads for scalping? Yeah, there's a broker in my description. It's called Black Bull Markets. You can possibly, like, you know, get that. There's Traders Domain, you know, for crypto in and out. So that works too. Looks like Sacha is having a hard time over there with the table.
Man, it's my old knee killing me.
Oh, this is the start, man.
That's rough.
You having knee problems? Oh, this is the start.
Yeah, too much ski when I was young, I guess.
Yeah, knee problems, hair problems. Damn. This is the start of the end right there.
Yep.
And Sacha is only in his 30s.
I'm trying to start streaming like you to document my journey. Is there a good tutorial for your stream setup? There is no tutorial. You just got to do it. Just got to get it done. You know, when I first started streaming, I looked at no tutorials. I just winged it. You know, like a lot of things, I just winged them. When I first started trading, I winged it. You know, and okay, winging trading doesn't work. You know, if you try to wing trading, that's the only thing that's not going to work. Maybe winging public speaking can work sometime. Oh, yeah, winging trading and stand-up comedy. You can't wing those two things. They just don't work. In trading, the market's going to boo you off their platform by blowing your account, or in stand-up comedy, the audience is going to boo you that you will never come back. Unless if you're Kevin Hart, you know, I mean, that's another case. What do you think about Roxy FX? That guy traded on 1 minute time frame. I don't think about, I don't know, he blocked me. Is your trip to London going to be open session for everyone? I wish it was an open session for everybody. I wish, but unfortunately, the company who hired me to do that, it's not an open session. Yeah, it's not an open session. When are you going to enter? When Mars is out of retrograde from Mercury, I think that's going to be a good position for us to take on GJ. Because then things can't go wrong. Oh. That's one thing I learned yesterday. Listen, any bad thing that happens to you in the next month is because Mars is in retrograde with Mercury. Remember that. Just blame it on Mars. And this is the time of karma. So you gotta wait.
Jeez, it's just, I guess we're all gonna get it.
Hey, is it a good idea to stick to the 30-minute time frame for retest trades right off from the start of your trading career? Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, if you can get a 30-minute candle closing about 141, you know, 141, 100, I think it's gonna have a better chance in creating a support and continue bullish. 2 weeks ago, I started an IG account to document all my trading activity, uploading each trade I take, explaining why I took, showing the results helped me so much. Yeah, that's true. This is absolutely correct. Let's take a look at this Instagram account here. Let's take a look over here. Yeah, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, if you look at this chart here, I know there are a lot of people who have the same thing over here, but you know, this is just someone showed it. I'm like, okay, let me show it. You know, this is amazing. This is what I did in the start. You know, this is what I used to do. I used to post my charts, post my analysis. I used to post information why I took the trade because I saw an opportunity. No, well, basically, I'd say it was like an opportunity. Like I saw this gap. You know, I saw this gap and no one was doing that. No one was posting charts with labeling and exactly why they took those trades. No one did that. And I always wished that, man, I wish someone did that so I could look at their trades. I could look at their fucking like these big gains and I could finally make sense out of it. Okay, why they took the trade and like, you know, what was the reason? But no one used to do that. So I started to do that. And then I guess that made me who I am. Mother Teresa of Forex, I think. Mother Teresa.
What it's all about.
Yeah, it's all about giving value. I saw that and I was like, man, why isn't anyone, you know, like doing this? It's so easy. And when I would ask those guys, hey, like, you know what, can you explain me why you took the trade? And they'll say, oh yeah, that's only explained in my private group, man. Sorry, I can't explain it to you. And I was like, but it's gonna take no effort, man. Come on. What's this?
Because they ain't making out the struggle.
Yeah, they haven't made it out the struggle yet. Will you enter as soon as the price closes above 141.100 or wait for the break of the previous candle? I will wait for a candle to close bullish. Why do you think that cryptos are speculative when we know that every make operates same way? Oh yeah, I'm not saying cryptos are speculative. I'm saying everything is speculative. But I don't know much about crypto to talk in detail on that subject. So I don't know much about crypto at all. Actually, I don't know nothing about crypto. All I know is that I have some Ripple that I bought at 74 cents and someone told me it's going to go to 10,000, so I'm just probably holding it now. This was like, you know, when Ripple was booming. I bought Ripple at 74 cents with like $2,000. When Ripple reached $3.10, I took out my initial $2,000 and whatever that was left in it, it's just left in it. Hey, can you take a look at my labeling and thought process? Let's take a look here. GJ, looking for 30-minute candle to close bullish above this area, waiting for minor support to form. Took entry when the price broke above. Okay, perfect. TP set at this price. Stop loss over here. Yeah, it's pretty good. I hope you secured some positions as well. You know, because then it's going to be really, really good. It's pretty good. You manage the trade. It's going to be really good if you secured positions. Do you invest in crypto? I just mentioned what I did. But no, I don't invest in crypto. Maybe it's a good moment to get some more Ripple while it's so low. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea about crypto. If I was watching a crypto live stream, I would be that dumb guy in the gulag asking questions about crypto. That's what I would be. So getting advice from me about crypto is like getting advice from someone in the stream who asks if price is a buy or a sell. So that's how much I know about.
Yeah, but can you prove that you bought the XRP?
That's a whole nother story, man. Can you prove it? I think that could be the slogan for the Gulag. But can you prove it?
I think so too.
Well, guys, so price is creating a support and it's going to go up, and can you prove it? But can you prove it?
T-shirt.
Oh yeah, it could be a great T-shirt too. Limited edition T-shirts. But can you prove it? I saw the sign, but can you prove it? Alright, let's take a look at this idea here. Let's move the conversation to Forex before all the crypto nerds come out with technical analysis on Ripple. What's this? Looking for bullish candle to form. Yeah, that's something I'm looking for too. You know, if you get a bullish candle forming in this area, price creating support, I think it's going to be a pretty good opportunity for price to go up. I don't necessarily see sells. I mean, if you're looking for sells, the only problem we have here, man, Sacha, that's a lot of thinking for a $100 table over there. Man, guy's been thinking for about 2 hours now.
And that's a lot of work this thing. Yeah, and I went back. Sorry, I said 150. It was actually the same price as IKEA. It was like 359 if I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it looks nice though. It looks nice. Can't wait to be done. Which is, I don't know if I'm gonna be done today.
Well, we'll
I'm
see.
still bad with those things.
So this was resistance. This was resistance again, and this candle broke it. If we're gonna go up, we need a support forming at this area. And what does that mean? That means that we need a candle forming bullish in this area right over here. Once this candle forms bullish, then you're gonna have a much higher confirmation for the next candle to continue moving bullish, and then ultimately break above here and go above to 141.450. If for some reason a candle closes bearish, like let's say you have a candle closing like this right over here, then I think selling would be a problem. And the reason why selling would be a problem would be because now you have a lot of like problem over here, you have like consolidation in this area here, like big issues, and then you have some consolidation over here, big issues, so there's no clean traffic. There's no clean traffic for price to go down. There's clean traffic for price to go up. And when there's clean traffic for price to go up, it just makes sense to look for a trade, which is going to be much easier. I think buys are going to be much easier than sells. So that's why I'm only going to look for buys. If the buys don't happen in this time frame, or if the buys don't happen till the time I'm here on the charts, then you know what? There's no trade. There's no trade. Then there's no point to say that, okay, you know what? Since there's no trade for buys, I'm going to start looking for sells when sells have all these issues here. Or someone could say, okay, well, in that case, let me go to gold, or let me go to EUR/JPY, or let me go to some other pair to take a trade on that pair. It just doesn't make sense. Then you just got to accept that, okay, there's no trade for me today. That's a problem with the internet. People spend so much time trying to bash others instead of making themselves better. Putting people down doesn't make you rise higher. Actually, you know what? I used to do that a lot. I did that a lot, and then I realized, man, it's not helping anyone. Like, if I'm here to provide value, it's not helping anyone. It's not helping anyone for me to be on their live for 3 hours and just say, can you prove it? Can you prove it? It makes no sense at all. It doesn't help nobody.
Yeah, I found that rather interesting, to be honest. I actually thought she was, when someone comes onto a platform and they have the opportunity to speak where they don't normally have a voice, that's your time to shine. Like, it's not your time to try it. Like, that's like going on to a talk show and bashing Oprah. Like you're on her talk show. Like, it's your time to try and get your voice out there so people get to know you. Like, why would you turn around and bash the host? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, do that on your own time, because you're not going to win the audience over by bashing. It's like you go watch a Yankees game and you know you're cheering for your home team, and you're sitting in the, you know, on the third base side, which is the home team's dugout, and you're screaming at the Yankees the entire game. Like, there's going to be a guy that's not going to be too happy with you. Like, go to the first base side where all the visitors are and cheer over there. Like, you know, you just got to pick your battles, so to speak. But that's neither here nor there. But I wouldn't go on, you know, I don't know, like Anderson Cooper and be like, Anderson Cooper, your hair's too white. Like, I wouldn't be doing stuff like that. I'd be like, hey, I got like 10 million people to listen to hear me talk. Let me say my stuff, and let me see if I can get people to come and convert over to what I'm doing.
So someone sent a chart over here. Can you give your thoughts on this chart? My thoughts on this chart is that this was a very, very bad entry because you had support down here, you had resistance over here. Idea was correct, but you got support over here, prices ranging, so it's a bad entry. Man, there's this website. It's called socialblade.com. It's called socialblade.com. From this website, you can search up, you know, like people on Instagram and YouTube and Mixer. Oh, you can do on TikTok too. So you can basically see what people do with their followers, you know, or like, you know, how they get their followers. And someone sent this to me this morning, and I looked at it, I'm like, okay, 45,000, all right, interesting. Let's take a look over here. And when I looked over it, these are, look at this, 81 followed, and then 1,700, 880, 300. Look at these negatives. These are all bot followers, man. I don't know why people buy followers for clout, so you can see it this right over here. These are all bot followers. So, Social Blade, I know guys are going to ask me for the website, and you had your chance to write it down, and now it's closed.
So it's called Social Blade?
So yeah.
Can you repeat the website again, please?
But can you prove it?
Can you prove that the website is actually true?
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
Price broke the low, and with some volume kicking. Yeah, I think US30 is going to continue moving down over here to 28,570. This is what we were looking at this morning too. You know, based on the 4 hour, based on the daily needs to make a lower wick. So I think it should continue moving bearish here. Ooh, looks like Carlos is chilling with Simpsons here today. Yeah, you know, nice easy day today. No trades, no stress, no problems, you know, no losses, no wins. Just letting the day end, you know, it's the last day of the month. I know people are very enticed to take trades, but you know, like, it's part of discipline. You just have to, what's this? About the simulation software you use that due to better data resolution compared to TradingView bar replay, or do you prefer the same software due to hook up with MT4? I actually used that software because that was the first simulation software I got to know about. If I got to know about TradingView, I maybe wouldn't have spent money on that simulation. But since I saw that before, I think it's pretty good. I think it's better than the TradingView bar replay, to be honest. I really like that simulation software. It's actually very amazing. It's impressive how someone came up with that concept and really built a business around it.
I thought TradingView, that's newer than SoftFX. That's the only reason why I think you didn't use it, to be honest. I think the replay on TradingView just was recent over the last year or so. Because I don't think they had it originally, like when we were using it back in 2017.
Yeah, you know, I also think the bar replay on TradingView is not as robust as the simulation.
Mm-hmm.
because the candles just form.
It's choppy. It's like 'cause with soft FX, you can sort of slow down the speed of the actual candle when it executes.
Yeah, so if you go over here and I play, and there you have that candle. But with soft FX, you're watching this candle go down,
Right.
go down here, and then you're talking about, okay, I'm going to take profits over here. But with this, the candle just doop doop.
Yeah, Eleanor said it right. Soft FX is pip by pip.
Yes. What's the most wins? What's the most wins you took in a day, Raji? 0. I mean, I've taken 0 wins today. Raji. So I'm Raji now. From Raja to Raju to Roger to Raji.
I think we ruined soft FX for a lot of people because originally it was $100 for 10 licenses, and then there was like a mad rush on it, and then they dropped it down to like 1 license or 2 licenses for $100 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know what happened was that people started buying that license for like $100. They get 10 licenses, and then they were reselling each license for like $15, $20.
Right.
So the guy must have thought, well, okay, you know what? Well, screw you guys.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna raise the price.
We did a lot of good business for people when it came to things like that. Like I know Soft FX really made some good money off of us when everyone was using the simulator and buying that simulator.
Yeah. He low-key knows us.
Yeah, he does.
100%. You know what I regret? That I didn't have any affiliate code for that.
You couldn't squeeze any more lemon juice out of the lemons here. Jeez. I need nine income streams.
Because man, this was a like wild rush towards the software.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this guy would wake up with like 20, 30 new orders every day? That'd be like crack for him.
Yeah, and it's like, where are they coming from?
Yeah. How did you get into the oil rigs industry? I just completed my master's in chemical engineering. Any advice? Well, you know what? You're way better than me. I had no experience in that. What I did was I needed money, so I researched forums. There were a lot of forums there of guys who work in the oil fields. I joined those forums. I got some information on what I needed to do, what certifications I needed. I took those certifications, like H2S, like workplace safety hazard, TDG, your transportation of dangerous goods, stuff like that, first aid, and then just went to Alberta, Nisku and Leduc, went there and started pounding the pavement. Just started walking in offices with my resume and started telling them, hey, I'm here now and I need a job. After a couple of rejections, I got some yeses, and then I chose my options, and that was it. I mean, getting a job is not that hard. You just have to go there in person, and you have to be persistent. Because think about it. If I'm in HR, I'm getting people walking in my door, in person, and I'm getting emails of resumes. I'm getting emails, I'm getting like papers, I'm getting people walking in. I would probably go for someone who walked in my door with a resume which had the same information as a resume which came in my email. Because that person is more approachable, he's there, so why would I waste my time calling someone with the same qualifications and the same work experience over the phone?
I think the other thing is too, a lot of people when they're looking for a job, they're not prepared when they go searching for the job. A lot of times if you're going for a job and you're doing like that, like, hey, I'm walking in, you can't walk into a place saying, hey, I'm looking for a job. Like, it doesn't always work that way. You have to massage the conversation. And what you would say is, I've been out and about, or I've been talking to a few people and potential opportunities, and I came across your company, and it really intrigued me that you guys do this and this and this, and do a little bit of research about the company, and then say, hey, listen, I am looking for an opportunity, but I know if there's not one available, maybe I can do an internship here and learn a little bit, or maybe you can hire me in as a junior, something or other. And I'd really appreciate the opportunity. I think my resume and I think my skill set match a lot of your culture and what you guys do here. And I'd like to give you the opportunity to show you what I can do. And, and that shows initiative. It shows, that you're able to understand what they're doing. You actually took the time to put some effort into them instead of just walking into like a place going, yeah, like I'm looking for a job and, this place looked pretty cool. And you'd be surprised how well people do that, because at the end of the day, the heads of companies, the heads like managers, directors of companies, and directors of departments, managers of departments, they want good employees, because if they pick a good employee, it makes them look good. So if you can show them your value and why you're good, you'd be surprised how many managers will be like, let me see what I can do, because they want someone who's a go-getter, who takes initiative, because then when their boss comes by and takes a look and they're like, hey, Raja, you got like 3,000 people here. And Raja's like, yeah, like I've been working hard, and the boss is happy. Raja turns around and says, hey, you guys are doing a great job, right? That's sort of how you want to frame it. And if you can keep that in the back of your head when you're job hunting or you're trying to do things like that, if you want, you always want to make your boss look good, because you make your boss look good, then your boss likes you, and if you can prove to them that you're going to make them look good, they'll more than likely hire you. And that's really what a job interview is are you going to make that company or that boss look good? If you can keep that in mind, I think you got a winning potential at that point.
If you're doing well with your trades, but you feel going slow, you should look for over-leveraged trades with your small account. With $200, 0.01, 0.02, 10 pips, feeling a bit slow and bad thing. Yeah, I think you're thinking bad because your account is small. If you have a $200 account, you can't afford to risk $20 per trade, because that wouldn't make any sense. That's like risking, $200 on a $2,000 account. So that's a bit of a risk. I think if you can afford to put in more money, I think then you're trading too small. There's a little thing called like trading too small and trading too big. Trading too small is like when you can afford, let's say like $1,000 account or $2,000 account easily, but you're trading on a $100 account, $200 account. And that's when you start feeling like you're going a bit slow, because you can afford to trade bigger, but you're just not trading bigger for some reason. And if you do over leverage on a smaller account, that's then again going to create bad habits, because then you're going to feel like, okay, you know what, for me to over leverage on a smaller account, and once you go to a bigger account, then you're going to remember that over leverage on a small account, and then that's going to make you think, okay, maybe this is something okay. Maybe this is something I can do on a regular basis, but it's not. So if you're on a $200 account, you have to understand, if you're growing the account by 1% a day or 2% a day, the gains are going to be small, and it's going to take a long time for you to get to $2,000, But if you can afford a $2,000 account, then, the gains are going to be relatively the same in percentage as a smaller account, but, like in monetary terms, it's going to be like the results are going to be much better.
Hey, Roger.
Hey.
Yeah, so I started off in January doing 0.01 lots, and so I think when I spoke to you, you sort of set me like, set a dollar value for every trade, and I've been working up from that every single week. And if I've had a positive week, I up it like by $20, $30 each trade the next week. And if I had a bad week, I just held it there or dropped it down a little bit and just kept on building up slowly to try get to roughly a pip value of $10. And that's taken 8 months. has taken 8 months, and also believing in your analysis. So my confident trade is higher time frame analysis lining up with my lower time frame direction, plus a 30 minute candle is like an 80% chance winner, And then I always used to, at first, when I get a loss, thinking, why have I got a loss? But then that's your 20%. But the 80% winners, you know you're going to get it, and you can do it blindfolded when you get that 30-minute close, higher time frame, lower time frame, all adds up in the same direction, and then that just comes with time,
Yeah. No, it's exactly right. And now when you think about it, it's like you gave yourself a raise in 8 months. Like there was a promotion you got. I think that's one thing that people don't give. Like we need to give our trading time. If you're not going to give it time, it's not going to work out. Like if you expect to be consistent in 2 months, 3 months, it's not going to work out that way. It's going to take you like 8 months, 9 months, because think about it. If you see a setup on the charts today, that setup, and if you take that setup, and if that setup is a losing setup, that setup may not happen for the next, 2-3 weeks. Then for that specific setup to happen, you'll have to wait maybe for tomorrow, maybe for next week or next month. But it's going to happen again. And if you've taken notes on that setup to say that, okay, why you lost the trade, and if it does happen again, maybe at that time you'll say, okay, you know what, it's happening again. Maybe I'm just going to sit out and watch it happen. And if you watch it happen and you paper trade it, you win the trade. If it happens the third time and the fourth time, then you're going to be able to execute on it. So it didn't take you like 2 days or 3 days. That process may take you like 2-3 weeks, because that same thing, it may not happen over and over again. So it takes time.
Yeah, and every time you do up your lot size, that trade might be a loss, and it affects you mentally, right?
Yep.
And so and I remember like looking at it confused, but it's just a part of the statistic, in the long run. But I found that just not taking trades and doing paper trades and journaling those trades, all my paper trades, journaling the trades, that really helps. Even the paper trade, journaling them as if they're real trades, how I would have taken it, and then going back and looking at losers, and then rewarding myself like a positive reinforcement every time I did everything by the book. And the reward is something, could be small, buy myself a watch, buy myself a t-shirt, or this or that, just to reward myself whenever I played by the book,
Get me a watch too, man. Get something small, a watch or a t-shirt. Wow, look at Let's take a look at this chart here. US 30, prices coming down, trying to look for buys. I'd say you may want to see candles closing bullish over here. I don't know much about US 30, but you'd want to see candles closing bullish. Plus, we're walking into NFP here this week, so I think it's going to be a very interesting time for US 30 and gold. Looks like GPY is turning around here a little bit. We want price to continue up. Obviously, we want to go up. So I think now this is where impulse entries get okay. This is where you can possibly take impulse entries. Once this 15-minute candle breaks the high of the previous 15-minute candle, I think that's going to be a pretty good opportunity. I think the stops are going to be bigger, like 14, 15 pip stops. And then you're looking for price to come up towards 141,300 and then eventually go to 141,450. What happened to the $500 funding account challenge? We have to think about a challenge. I'm not sure if Ted can help us on this. Hey Ted, we're doing this giveaway, so there will be 3 prizes. The first prize is going to be a $500 account. The second prize is going to be a magic keys, and the third prize is going to be like a big percentage off magic keys. But we don't know what challenge to do over here. We've been thinking about it. We can't come up with a solid challenge here to put towards people. Probably Ted's busy having a mango juice or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm here. What's up?
Oh, okay. So we're doing a challenge, right? And
Okay.
this challenge is going to have 3 prizes. First prize is going to be a $500 account. Second
Okay.
prize is going to be a Magic Keys.
Okay.
And third prize is going to be a big percentage off of Magic Keys.
Okay.
But we've been brainstorming and thinking, and we're just not sure what type of a challenge, like, it could be. It's a very
Like on
difficult-
IG, like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
social
like-
media challenge.
Yeah, like a social media challenge.
Get rid of all the troll accounts. No, I'm just joking. Could you imagine? Send the gulag out.
Send the gulag on a mission.
I always think about that whenever people turn around and they're like, "Oh, we got your back, Ted and Raja," and it's like I always think of Braveheart, where like they're running across the field. It's like go. It's what the social media challenges are getting hard because you want to do something good, so you say, okay, like I made the mistake the other month of saying, okay, talk to me about how you've improved your life and you've brought passion into other people's lives, like how have you sort of persevered. And I got like 10,000 responses about how they've improved their trading. Like nobody even read the actual commentary of what I was trying to get at. It wasn't necessarily related to trading, but it was basically related to your life. And then there's the other ones of like, tag 3 people. And then what happens is someone tags like 6,000 people, and then someone complains that they didn't get tagged or whatever it is. It's tough. I mean, and I did the, like do something nice for somebody, and then it's like, people are posting things that they did like 2 years ago, and it's like, I don't know, people get lost in the shuffle when it comes to stuff like this. I think what we should do is you should probably do a live stream challenge. What you'll do is like pick a day where it's like giveaway day, and like not announce it, like do like Ellen DeGeneres is like 12 days of giveaways, and it's like nobody knows that it's going to be a giveaway, but it'll be like the best marked up charts, right? Or the best information that was provided on a chart. Like nobody will know it's going to happen, but it could be like on a Thursday, and all of a sudden like you can blow the horn, and it'll be like these 4 charts were the best marked out charts based on information to help somebody. Like we would be able to give this to a novice trader, and they would be able to interpret what you were trying to do, if that made sense.
Yeah, I know, that's pretty good. So
yeah,
probably we could do maybe next week, any random days, like one day, one winner, second day, second winner.
Yeah, it's going to be like the like the 4 days of giveaways for Raja Banks.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. 4 days of
and
giveaways.
And what it'll do, and then this is where the trolls will get angry. You'll probably get 6,000 viewers because everybody will want to win something. Maybe Trader's Domain might donate a trading account as well. So there might be other giveaways, and suddenly now you're gonna make a whole bunch more YouTube money.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, so that it doesn't matter what we do, we're just going to get in trouble for it anyway. So we might as well already state the obvious. It'll be like, oh well, there's a promotion here. Raja's getting more money on the YouTube stream. Ted's increasing clients to his brokerage. Yeah, you guys are taking from the gulag, and it's like, all right, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good. Magic keys and accounts and discounts. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, just do it like the September back to school, back to work, COVID giveaways. Raja's back from London quarantine.
Oh yeah, I'll have to go in quarantine when I come back.
Oh, wow.
That's the funny thing. There's no quarantine when I land over there, but there's quarantine when I come back over here.
It's gonna be a September to remember from Raja Banks.
There you go, Raja Banks, September to remember. Week of giveaways.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. September to November. September to
Remember.
Yeah, September to remember. There you go.
No.
KP Unlimited, sponsored by KP Unlimited, because he took the he created the name. So there you go. Buying GJ. 15-minute chart. I think you'd wait the next hour because this might be a little bit of a booby trap for a bit.
Continue moving bullish.
My fear is the bottom of this 15-minute candle, this area here. I would rather have it a little bit more extended to go this way. That's what you'd be looking for, something similar to this. So when you see something like this, that's usually not a good sign. But what could happen is this could then do this, form this, and then do this, right? So what you can do now as a trader is you could be like, hey, maybe I'll put a buy stop over here. And if a tail gets formed over here, then I know I've got liquidity to start to move back up if you want to be aggressive. And then you can say, hey, this is my target here. And then eventually this is my target up here. And then your stop loss would be probably over here because you're not going to go back down here. This tail is basically dropping into this liquidity area here. So what happens is you have this. So this area here. So what you're anticipating is this candle here dips down into here, creates that tail to drive up. And then you're putting your stop loss over here, and then your targets are over here, and then over here on the 15-minute time frame.
How do you like the retest to the previous 1 hour candle support, Ted, on GJ? It's pulling all the way up.
Yeah, so just similar to what we were talking about. Now we have that tail. That gives you a little bit more confluence to say, hey, we're going to move further up. We didn't actually touch this area here. So what you could do is you could technically put your stop loss here. But normally what I like to do is if I'm trading this area here and I'm going for like the 9 to 9 a.m. So I assume by 9 a.m. we could potentially reach here. I'll put my stop loss right here. Like I don't need to put it down here because I'm not looking to trade past this one candle. Like I'll, because ideally what I would have done is I took this trade, I would have taken it right here because when it dipped down like this, I specifically said is once this tail gets formed, you could then take a trade up, and then now you have that liquidity that you're looking for. So my initial target would probably be first here, and then if it pulses up into this area here, maybe move my stop loss here, and then this is essentially maybe like a 5 pip trade, if that. But I'm not looking for anything crazy. My initial target would be right over here, and then it would be up to here. As this candle forms, if it goes up here, I have an issue because I don't know how far the retest is going to be at 9 a.m. So that's why if I'm going to trade off a 15-minute candle, I just have to really work with this one and hope that it drives up. Like obviously if it gets up to here, that's perfect. But if it doesn't, I have to manage that and say, okay, I might have to exit, say over here, as I'm watching, the time that you have, right? Because right now it's like 8:52 a.m. So you have 8 minutes to the new hour. So you have to say to yourself, okay, I have to jump into my 5 minute and I have to watch to see where my 5 minute starts to taper off, and then because there's only 2 more 5 minute candles left, and obviously my first target was hit. Now I can move my stop over to here and be like, okay, I take a small bit, but now you can see the 5 minute candle is coming right to here. So on the 5 minute target, you're matching up here, but this next 5 minute candle might dip into this area here and then drive right up here, but more than likely you're going to get stopped right over here. And you'll notice this stop right over here potentially will match up over here, which would be then the new hour. So it'll be 9 a.m. at that point, like 9 a.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I would manage this trade. If I'm working off one 15-minute candle, I'll jump into the smaller time frames and see where there is a resistance on the 5 minute. You can see there's a little bit of resistance areas here. Those are your 3 levels on the 5 minute, knowing that this hour candle is going to, pull back just before, before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem.
Is there anyone in your Zoom who can speak about funding talent? Just a quick review of the experience. We had the whole stream. We had a complete stream based on that. So I think you can go over there. You can ask them the questions and whatnot. But I think I have some people who are on that platform. Ooh, look at that 30-minute kind of closing above over here. I think I still have some more room to continue moving up. I took a buy. I had a buy at 141, 154. Once this candle closed bullish, I took an entry when Ted was talking about this candle making a lower wick. I closed in about like 2 pips basically. It went up this area to a 5-minute area here, as Ted was talking, and started coming down, and I closed at like 2 pip profit. So that's about it. One trade today, I won 2 pips. 2 pips today, that's it. Ending the month on a good note. Hey, I know you say you don't need funding, but wouldn't you like to make more money for free? Here's the thing. For me to do a funding challenge or stuff like that, I have to adhere to someone's risk, and that's like being employed. And if I don't meet a certain percentage criteria, then that pushes me psychologically to maybe like, over leverage or over trade to get those targets. So that's why I don't. Man, I have my own funding. I don't need someone else's funding. Let's put it that way. Hey, can I use magic keys with two MetaTraders with different brokers? No, you can only use magic keys on one MetaTrader at a time. Well, actually, you know what? You can use magic keys on whichever MetaTrader window is open, but simultaneously, it's not going to execute on both things. It's only going to execute on one thing. So it's not like a trade. Oh. What a nice idea just came to my mind.
Oh, here we go.
Maybe we can program magic. I don't know if my partner is listening or not, but maybe we can program magic keys in a way to execute trades on both MetaTraders. Maybe that can be done. Big maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe. There's still a big chance you can link the two platforms, the two licenses. Yeah.
Okay, Roger, I'll program it tomorrow.
All right then. Yeah, because then, man, I think we could do that. We'll see what happens. This whole magic key idea, it started in October 2019, and the first unit to hit, I'd say, the market was in February. So November, December. So it took like 3 months in development and testing and all that. But can you prove it? I can't prove it.
Just did a bad thing.
Yeah, for it to go up, right?
Yeah. But the problem is there's only 1 minute for this 4-hour candle to close. So I'm expecting the next hour basically just make the push up. Maybe I can get like 10, 15 pips.
Yeah, I think you can. Because I think this move down on the 30-minute was a fake out, and I think our destination for this New York session is 141.450.
I mean, I'm not risking a lot. It's just 3 pips and stop loss.
But can you prove it?
For 10k, yeah.
Okay.
No, for 500k. I will fly to Canada. I'm gonna show you all my stuff.
Hey, I'm a newbie here. Could you take a look at my trade this morning and advise me what I did wrong? Buy stop right above the high on the 1 hour. See, now, if you think price is going to go up, I think you should be entering where Kerwin said I did a bad thing.
Yeah, I think we still have the chance to push this candle.
Yeah, because the thing is, right here, your stop is the same, and if you entered, let's say over here, your stop would have been the same, but the size of the stop loss would have been smaller. Let's take a look at this newbie chart. Oh, wow, this range, and you still took a trade in the range. Took a short when the red candle was finished on the 30-minute, but it was in a range. I mean, you mapped out this range and you still took a trade in the range.
All right, GG, come on. Do it for the gram.
And once again, GJ is back in the building.
I just followed directions from Ted.
GG, gonna give you trouble in that zone there.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, right now I'm like 10 pips in profit.
This is the trouble area.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Raja, I took a trade when you took a trade. Almost we were at the same. So, but when the last 30 minutes went up, I closed my position, and when it came back, I took another position. Now I closed it, so I saved 20 pips.
Oh, nice. And US 30 is coming down to this area here. Man, this is what we mapped out this morning for US 30. First, we're going to break up at 141.300 and then all the way to 141.450.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
Well. I'm gonna close 50% and give it a chance to pull back a little bit and see what happened to. Oh. It's not pulling back.
There we go, coming up, 141.300. I am not in this trade. If someone's wondering if I'm in this trade, I'm not in this trade. I'm just watching it play out, and that's about it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna head off.
Okay, Mr. Raja.
Yeah.
Take care.
Enjoy. Take care.
Take care,
Take
everybody.
it easy.
Have fun.
Take care, guys.
All right. Good luck with your table.
Go on,
See you guys. Go on.
Later. See you later, alligators.